Hi, I'm Gary, the Traveling Yogi. Thanks for joining me for our Vinyasa practice today. I haven't traveled very far for this practice. I've just gone to my back patio, but I really like being outside and practicing in the beautiful spring sunlight. So find a nice cross-legged position on the mat. Let your eyes close down and just begin to breathe. Follow the breath and feel it as it flows in, and then feel it as it flows out. Just focus on the breath and let everything else begin to fade into the background. If you're outside, feel free to listen to the birds or whatever sounds may be reaching your ears. Notice the smells and perhaps the gentle feeling of the wind brushing against your bare skin. Just continue breathing, inhaling and exhaling, keeping your awareness on the breath. Now begin to notice how your body responds to the breath. Notice as you breathe in, you'll feel a slight expansion in the body, almost like a balloon inflating. And when you breathe out, you may feel a slight sense of deflation. Just notice the relationship between the breath and the physical body as you continue breathing in and breathing out. Now let your breath begin to lengthen a bit. So if you were breathing in, say 5 counts, see if you can extend the breath to 6 or 7 counts, or maybe even 8, but not so much that you begin to feel like you're straining. So let the breath be soft and gentle still. But see if you can extend both the inhale and the exhale to 6, 7, or even 8 counts. And as you begin to feel the breath extending, getting longer, just notice the flow. Continue following your breath, flowing in and flowing out. Let's take one more deep breath in, and then a big exhale. Let the breath go. Let's do that one more time, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. Keep breathing in. And now a big exhale. Make sure all the breath comes out on the exhale. And then when you're ready, inhale and reach your arms up and overhead. Stretch up high. Bring the palms together and then to heart center. Now draw the navel in. Bring your chin to your chest. Round the spine. Bow down. Bring the forehead down to the mat. On an inhale, slowly rise. Reach the arms high once you're up, and the arms come out to a T. Now drop the left hand down, reach the right hand up and over, stretch the right side body. Big, deep stretch. On an inhale, slowly begin to rise. Bring the right hand down. Press the palm into the mat. Bend the right elbow. Reach with your left hand. Feel the stretch on the left side body. On an inhale, slowly begin to rise. Arms come out to a T now. Take a twist to the right. Right palm presses into the mat. Left hand on right knee. Back to center and over to the other side. Right hand on left knee. On an inhale, come back to center. Reach the arms high. And exhale the hands to heart center, pressing the palms together. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, chin to chest, draw the navel in, round the spine, bring the forehead down, touch the mat with the forehead if you can, and then inhale, begin to rise. Once you're all the way up, level your chin, reach your arms high. Now bring the hands to the back of the head, elbows reach apart, lift your chin, and then exhale, elbows together, chin to chest, round the spine, elbows down to the mat. Inhale, rise back up, second time here, lift the chin high, elbows apart, and exhale, chin to chest, slowly bring the elbows down to the mat. One more time, inhale, rising up, reach the elbows apart, press your chest high, lift your chin, and then level the chin, bring the chin to the chest and round the spine, elbows down to the mat. Rise all the way back up, reach the elbows apart, release the hands, keep the fingers interlaced and stretch the palms to the sky, release the hands and bring them out to a T. Another twist to the right, press the right palm into the mat, reach the left hand high, lift your gaze up so you're looking at the thumb on the left hand, then back to center, into the twist, and then over to the other side. Left hand down this time. Right hand reaches high. Lift your gaze up so you're looking at the thumb on the right hand. Now rise, reach the right hand forward. Left hand reaches back. Then come back to center. Reach the arms high. And then out to a 45-degree angle. Eagle arms. Right elbow wraps under left elbow. Lift the chin. Lift the elbows. Stretch it out. And then chin is level, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Keep the spine long. Slowly, core engages as you rise. Lift the elbows again and lift the chin. Press the chest towards the sky. Nice back bend. Then as you exhale, level the chin, unravel the arms, and reach the arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, pressing the palms together. On an inhale, reach back up. Arms come back out to a 45-degree angle. Let's do the other side of eagle arms, wrapping the left elbow under the right elbow, palms together if you can. Lift the elbows now, lift the chin, find that back bend. Then as you exhale, level your chin, bring the elbows down. Now hinge at the hips and fold forward. Feel that great stretch in the hips. Slowly rise. Once you're up, lift the chin, lift the elbows. Then as you exhale, level the chin, unravel the arms, reach them up and overhead, stretch up high, and then exhale the hands to heart center. Now, come to all fours. Knees under hips, hands under the shoulders, and start pressing the hips from side to side. Now press the hips forward, and then to the right and back. We're just making circles with the hips now. We'll go around about 3 times this direction. And then when you feel ready, come back to center, then go the other way. Again, about 3 times that direction as well. This helps to open up the hip joints, create some length in the spine, also opens the shoulder joints nicely. Feel free to continue moving around. Just a little gentle, free movement. When you're ready, glide the hips forward and down, elbows straight. Then press back towards child's pose with the hips reaching towards the heels. Now draw the navel up, glide the hips forward and down. This is a modified upward dog with the knees down. And then press back towards child's pose. We'll just continue to flow in this way, gliding the hips forward and down, elbows straight, and pressing back towards child's pose. Lift the Navel towards the spine. Glide the hips forward. Chin lifts up a bit. Pause for a moment. Deepen the movement into the pose. Now make your way back to table pose and then pick the left knee up. Point the left knee 90 degrees to the left, then bring it forward. Touch the left shoulder and straighten the left leg. Point the left foot to the left. Then bring that left foot back and bring knee to nose. We'll do that 3 times on each side. Now bring that knee forward. Touch your nose with the knee. Round the spine here. Lots of core engagement as you press back. That was the second one. One more time. Knee comes forward. Touch the nose. And then press that left foot straight back. Now bend the left knee. Bring it forward. Straighten the left leg. And then bring the left knee down so it meets the right knee. Now pick the right knee up. Straighten the right leg. Reach off to the right. Then bring that right leg back and then knee to nose. Same as we did on the other side. Straighten the leg now and then bring the right knee forward. Touch your nose second time. And press the right foot straight back. One more time. Knee comes towards nose, spine rounding. And exhale. Press it straight back. Now swing that right leg all the way around. Keep it straight. Lots of core strength here. And then bend the right knee and bring it down. Back to table pose. Now tuck your toes. Let's find our very first downward facing dog, lifting your hips high into downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal it out if you like. Bend one knee and then the other. Feel that great stretch in the back of the leg as you straighten the knee, pressing the heel down towards the mat, just pedaling gently from one side to the other. Now find stillness. Then come up on the toes and press the heels down towards the mat. Do that again, and then glide forward, plank pose, and then downward facing dog. Do that again. Up on the toes, glide forward to plank. Now drop the hips and then lift the hips high into downward dog. Let's do that again. Rise up on the toes, drop the hips down, lift your head up, and then press the hips, downward facing dog, heels pressing into the mat. Inhale the right leg high now, 3-legged dog. Open the hips to the right, bending the right knee. Work on stacking the right hip over the left, and then step the right foot all the way forward so it ends up between the hands. This is runner's lunge. Now bring the left knee to the mat. Untuck the toes on the left foot. Reach the hands high into a low crescent lunge. Press that right knee forward a little bit more and begin to feel that great stretch in the hip flexor muscles. Now bring the hands down, framing the left foot. Toes tuck as the left knee comes off the mat. Right foot steps back. Plank pose. Now lift your hips high, downward facing dog. Stretch it out. Now lift up onto the toes. Drop the hips, lift the chin. And downward dog, press the heels to the mat. Do that again. Up on the toes, glide the hips forward and down. Drop the hips down, lift the chin, and then press back up towards downward facing dog. Now glide forward, drop the hips so they're level, and then press back towards downward dog. Now lift the left leg high, 3-legged dog. The hips are going to open to the left this time. Stacking the left hip over the right to the extent you can. Now level your hips off. Step the left foot all the way forward so it ends up between the hands. Runner's lunge. Now right knee comes to the mat. Then untuck the toes on the right foot. Reach the arms high into a low crescent lunge. Hands right over the shoulders. Press the left knee forward a little bit more. Notice the stretch at the top of the right leg, top of the right thigh. Now bring the hands down, toes tuck, and right foot steps forward into a standing forward fold. This is our first standing forward fold. Uttanasana is the name of the pose. You can take opposite elbows here if you like. Now release the arms and reverse swan dive, rising, reach up, and a back bend. Bring the palms together if you like. Bend the knees. Weight comes into the front of the feet. Now hands stay at heart center as you hinge at the hips and fold forward. Bring the hands down to the mat and then do a half lift. Spine long and parallel to the mat. Exhale the hands down. Step the left foot all the way back into runner's lunge. Right knee bent about 90 degrees. Right foot steps back to plank pose. Now, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. I'm doing a chaturanga, upward facing dog. Knees are off the mat. When you're ready, tuck your toes and lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Now bend the knees. Take a nice little hop forward so the feet end up between the hands. Let your head drop down. Arms come out to a T. Rise back up. Palms together. Second back bend here. Weight into the front of the feet. Now palms to heart center. Take a deep breath. Reach back up. And as you exhale, fold forward. Swan dive all the way down. Now come to a half lift. Hands to the top of the shins. And exhale, fold forward. Bring the hands all the way down to the mat. Big step back with the left foot. Left hand stays down. Right hand reaches high into a lunge twist. Keep pressing back on the left heel. If you want, you can reach your right hand forward, a little bit more energy in the pose that way. Then bring the right hand down so it's framing the forward foot. Right foot steps back to plank pose. Take a breath. And one more. As you exhale, lift your hips high, pressing into downward facing dog. Now glide forward, drop the hips, lift the chin, and exhale, press back, heels pressing towards the mat. We're moving to downward dog. Gliding forward up on the toes, dropping the hips, lifting the chin. This is the third time we've gone through this series to downward facing dog. Do that one more time. Up on the toes, drop the hips now, lift the chin. Then as you exhale, press back towards downward dog. Lots of length now in downward facing dog. Lift the left leg all the way up and then step the left foot forward so it ends up between the hands. And we've come to runner's lunge. Right hand stays down now. Left hand reaches high, lunge twist. And when you're ready, bring that left hand down so it frames that forward left foot. And step the right foot forward, letting the head drop down. Standing forward fold. Take opposite elbows if you like. Press the elbows down. You can even bring the hands behind your legs, maybe to the heels, deepening the forward fold. Knees can bend a little bit here if you like. Now arms come out to a T, reverse swan dive, another back bend, palms together, press the knees forward, press the hips forward, and rise all the way back up. Keep the hands together as you flow into a standing forward fold, then come to a half lift, spine long. Now left foot steps back. Right foot steps back to meet it. Now flow through a vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana. Upward facing dog, 2 or 3 breaths in upward dog. Then when you feel ready, tuck your toes and lift your hips, downward facing dog. Lots of length here in the spine. Now bend the knees, take your hop forward so the feet end up between the hands. Love those little hops. Reverse swan dive, reaching back up, and then exhale the hands to heart center. Now pause and breathe. When you're ready, spine long, hinge at the hips. Fold forward, come down halfway, bring the arms to a T. Left hand comes down, left knee bends. This is a standing twist. Reach the right hand high. Notice your right hand is stacked over your right shoulder and your right shoulder over the left. Now to the other side, right hand comes down, right knee bends, left leg is straight. Spine is still nice and long, head is reaching forward. Standing twist to our second side. Let's go back to the other side. Left knee bends, left hand comes down. Spine still long. And we'll finish it out with the right hand coming down, right knee bent, left leg straight, left hand reaching high. Now bring the left hand down and come to fingertips. Center the hands in front of the left foot. Pick the right foot up. Reach the right foot straight back so that right leg is 90 degrees. And now half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. You can reach the right hand forward a little if you like, bringing a little more energy and balance to the pose. And then finish by bringing that right leg all the way out, keep it straight, and then bring the fingertips in front of the right foot, pick the left foot up, point the toes back, And let's find half moon pose on our second side. Right hand is down, left hand is high. If you want, you can reach that left hand forward, bringing more energy to the pose, pointing the toes on the left foot. When you're ready, left hand comes down, swing that left leg out, and then bring it down. Standing forward fold. Now breathe. Reverse swan dive, rise up, palms together. Let's find our back bend. Rise up, reach the arms high, and then swan dive, forward fold. Rise to a half lift, and then jump back to plank pose. We're going to flow through a vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, and then move into upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Now lift your right leg high. As we move now towards pigeon pose, bring that right leg down, then bend the right knee. Bring the right knee towards the right hand, the right foot towards the left hand. Untuck the toes on the left foot, left knee comes to the mat. Now see if you can level your hips and bring that left hip down towards the mat. Pigeon pose. You can press your hands into the mat or into the instep of the right foot and the right hand pressing into the knee, creating a nice deep back bend. Just feel all the sensations in the pose. When you're finished, come down to the elbows. You can bring your hands together if you like, tuck your toes, and bring that left knee off the mat. Now step the right foot back. This is Dolphin Plank Pose. Shoulders, hips, and heels in alignment with one another. Breathe. Lots of core strength, core building. Now Dolphin Pose. Walk the feet forward into Dolphin Pose. Spine is long. The knees can be bent a little bit if you like. Couple more breaths in Dolphin Pose. Now come up onto the hands, back to downward facing dog, and reach that right leg all the way back up. And step the right foot forward so it ends up between the hands. Now spin the left heel to the mat, right knee bent, rise, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Press that right knee forward, arms reach out, your gaze is forward over the right hand. Now straighten the right leg and we're going to move towards triangle pose. Right hand comes down, left hand reaches high. Can you stack your left shoulder over your right shoulder? Gaze can be up a little bit towards the sky. Now bring that left hand down. Move the right hand to the outside of the right foot and come up onto the ball of the left foot. Pyramid pose. Keep the spine as long as you can. Bring the forehead down towards the shin or the knee of that right leg. Feel the great stretch in the back of the right leg. Now step your right foot back. Let's flow through a vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Upward facing dog when you're ready. And flow into downward facing dog. Hips are high. Press the heels down to the mat. On an inhale, reach your left leg high and move towards pigeon pose. Bring that left foot down, bending the left knee towards left hand, left foot towards right hand. Now level the hips as you untuck the toes on the right foot and bring the right knee to the mat. Nice deep back bend here. Chin relatively level. You don't need to lift it up too high. You don't need to bunch up the skin on the back of the neck too much. Now come down to the elbows, just like we did on the other side. And then tuck the toes, right knee comes off the mat. Moving to Dolphin Plank Pose, step the left foot back and breathe. Again, lots of core strength in this pose. Now move towards Dolphin Pose, walking the feet forward. The elbows and the forearms are still pressing into the mat. And then when you're ready, press the hands into the mat, bring the elbows off the mat, downward facing dog. Now lift the left leg high and step the left foot forward so it ends up between the hands, coming to runner's lunge. Rise to warrior two On our second side, left knee bent, ground into the pinky toe of that right foot. Now bring the arms out to a T, press into the right foot, reach the left hand forward, triangle pose. Left hand presses down, right hand reaches high, spine is long, and here we're working on stacking the right shoulder over the left shoulder in Trikonasana, triangle pose. Now bring that right hand down, move the left hand to the outside of the left foot. This is our pyramid pose. We've come up onto the ball of the right foot. Keep your spine as long as you can. Pull that left hip back, right hip forward. When you're ready, step the left foot back to plank pose. Take a breath. And maybe one more. And when you're ready, flow through a vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana, upward facing dog. And then tuck the toes and lift the hips into downward facing dog. Now lots of length in the spine as you press the heels down towards the mat, creating lots of stretch in the back of the legs. Now bend the knees, take a hop, feet end up between the hands, let your head drop down. Standing forward fold. Now reverse swan dive, reach the arms high, and exhale the hands to heart center. Now slowly bring the weight into the left foot. Pick the right foot up as we move towards tree pose. Sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh if you can. Now bring the palms together, hands to heart center, or you can reach the arms up and overhead or out to a T. Any arm variation is welcomed in tree pose. Stay steady. Now reach the arms high, interlace the fingers, point the index fingers, release the right foot, move towards warrior three. Reaching the fingertips forward and pressing back through that right foot. The more you press back through the foot and reach through the fingertips, the more steady you will be in the pose. When you're ready, release your hands out to a T, then bring them down. Standing splits, let your head drop down. Reach that right leg high. And then bend the left knee. Big step back with the right foot, runner's lunge, left foot steps back, plank pose. Now flow through a vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana, upward facing dog, a beautiful breath there, and exhale into downward facing dog. Good work, everybody. Now bend your knees deeply, and then take a hop so the feet end up between the hands. Now the arms come out to a T. Nice long spine as you rise. Reach the arms high. Bring the palms together and then to heart center. Let's find tree pose on our second side. Weight in the right foot. See if we can pick the left foot up and bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Tree pose. You can bring the palms together as we did on the other side. Or sometimes it's nice to interlace the fingers and reach the arms up and overhead as though someone were pulling your fingertips up. Stay with it. 2 more breaths. Tree pose. Good work. Now release that left foot. Reach the fingertips forward. Press the left foot back as we come into warrior three. Spine nice and long. Then finish by bringing the hands to the mat. Standing splits. Lift the left leg high. Now bend the right knee. Step the left foot back. Runner's lunge. And right foot steps back to plank. Now let's move towards side plank. The right hand down. Roll over onto the pinky toe side of the right foot. Reach the left hand up and overhead, palm facing down. Left foot lifts if you can. Toes on the left foot point to the back of the mat. Now bring the hands back down. Roll over to the other side. Left hand down. Right hand reaching. Pick that right foot up if you can. Then eventually bring that right foot down. And bring the right hand down when you're ready. Back to plank pose. Now flow through Vinyasa. Again, knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. It's your option. Upward facing dog. And when you're ready, knees come to the mat, and let's find child's pose. Let your hips drop to your heels, forehead rests on the mat. Just breathe. Feel the breath flowing in and flowing out. Feel the breath returning to your natural rhythm. Let's come out of child's pose now. Downward facing dog, then bend the knees, take a hop forward. This is going to be optional. Crow pose. Bring the knees to the armpits if you can, and then lean forward a little bit into crow pose. You can point your toes, lift your feet up a little higher so the heels come towards your butt. If you want, jump back to plank pose and lift your hips high, downward facing dog. Thank you for being playful. Now come down to the elbows again. And you have the option here of either being in Dolphin Pose or moving towards a forearm or a supported headstand. If you like, you lift your feet up and overhead. Again, if you're feeling a little playful. If you want to, you can do a splits when you're up in the headstand. One side, then the other. If you're in the forearm or headstand, slowly bring the legs down to the mat, and let's all meet back in downward facing dog. From there, walk your hands back to your feet and standing forward fold at the back of your mat. Now arms out to a T, reverse swan dive as you rise, reach the arms high, and exhale to heart center. Let's find 3 breaths here. Now hinging at the hips, begin to fold forward with the weight in the front of the feet. Bring your hands down to the mat, and then walk your hands forward into a short downward facing dog. Now leave your right hand on the mat. Bring the left hand to the right ankle and look under the right armpit. Let your head drop down. This is a downward dog twist. Bring that left hand back to where we started, and the right hand reaches for the left ankle. Let your head drop down so you're looking under your left armpit. Head gets nice and heavy. Now release the right hand and then walk the hands forward into downward dog. Big, nice stretch. And on an inhale, reach your right leg high. Point the toes and then bring knee to nose, rounding the spine, and kick that right leg all the way back up. Do it again. Knee to nose, spine rounds. You can bend the elbows if you want. Reach that right leg back up. Let's do it a third time, right down the middle. Knee to nose, kick it all the way back up. This time we're going to bring the knee to the right elbow and pause. The elbows can bend. And right leg reaches up. Now knee towards left elbow and pause. Now fallen star. Straighten the right leg. Reach the left hand up and over, palm facing down. Press the hips high. Breathe. Fallen star pose. Bring the left hand down. Now bend the right knee. Reach the right leg up and bring the right foot down so it meets the left foot. Glide forward to plank and flow through a vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. It's your choice. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. On the inhale, the left leg rises. Toes point and knee to nose, right down the middle. Touch the nose if you can. Straighten the left leg, lift it up high, and then step the left knee forward, touching the knee to the nose, and pick that left leg all the way back up. Third time on this side, last one. Pick it back up. Now knee to left elbow and pause. Kick the left leg back up. Now knee to right elbow, pause, and then fallen star. Straighten the left leg. Weight on the left hand. Right hand reaches up and over. Press the hips high. When you're ready, bring the right hand down, bend the left knee, reach the left leg back up, and bring the left leg down and stretch it out. Now glide forward to plank, and then lift your hips high, downward dog. Do that again, plank, and hips high, downward facing dog. Just working on a little bit of extra core strength. Glide the hips forward, bring the knees down, child's pose. Second time in child's pose in this practice. Forehead rests on the mat. Tailbone's reaching towards the back of your space, so you're still creating lots of length in the spine. Let your breath return to its normal rhythm. Now rise to table pose. Now right hand stays down, left hand reaches high. Thread the needle, bring the left hand under and through, land on the left shoulder. Reach that right hand forward, arm is straight, palm is pressing into the mat or the floor in front of your mat. So you can lift the right shoulder up a little higher. Keep your hips level and square. Thread the needle pose. Wonderful spinal twist. When you're ready, begin to slide that right hand down in front of your face. Press into the right palm. Reach the left hand high coming out of that side of the pose. Now center the left hand. Then reach the right hand high. Thread the needle. Bring the right hand under and through. Land on your right shoulder. Then reach your left hand forward. The left arm is straight. The palm is pressing into the mat. See if you can open that left shoulder up a little bit more. And notice that the plane your shoulders are in is about 90 degrees different from the plane your hips are in. That obviously is creating our spinal twist in the pose. And when you're ready, begin to slide the left hand down, press into the left palm, reach the right hand high, and bring the right hand down, back to table pose. Now bring your hips to your heels and bring your palms to your thighs. Hero pose, Virasana. Let the spine lengthen, feel your chest rising, keep your chin nice and level. One more breath. Now come up on the knees, and we're going to move towards Camel Pose. Initially, bring your arms out to a T, and then you can bring the hands behind you and press them into the low back, or you can come all the way down and bring the hands to the heels. Let your head drop down, press your hips forward, and move, if you want, more deeply into the pose. This is where the good stuff happens. And when you're ready, slowly come out of the pose. Let the hips drop all the way back down to the mat if you can. Then release the left leg. Bring it forward, straightening that left leg. Reach your arms up and overhead, and then fold forward over the left leg. The toes on that right foot are pointed back towards the back of your space. This creates a big stretch in the back of the left leg. And when you're ready, reach your hands forward and slowly rise. And then slowly make your way to your back. The toes on that right foot are pointing straight back. This creates a big, big stretch in the quadricep muscles on the front of that right leg. If you like, you can reach your arms up and overhead behind you, maybe even take opposite elbows. And if you can lay down on the back, or you can stay up on the elbows. And if that's too intense, just stay up on the hands. Just creating as much of a stretch in the front of that right leg as you like. When you're ready, begin to rise. And then release that right leg forward and bend the left knee. Bring that left heel to the left hip, toes on the left foot pointing forward, hinge at the hips and fold forward over that extended right leg, forehead coming towards the knee of the right leg. Now release the hands, reach back up. And as you exhale, come down again to the elbows or back, wherever you can move. And now start to feel that great stretch in the quadricep muscles on that left leg. If you want, take opposite elbows. Press the elbows towards the back of your space. Just settle in to the pose. Now release the hands. Release that left leg forward. Reach the arms up and overhead. And then lift the feet up point the toes to the sky, reach the fingertips towards the toes, lift the shoulders and the head off the mat. Lift your tailbone off the mat. Now release into a wide-legged boat pose. Then reach the arms high, interlace the fingers, point the index fingers, arrow mudra. Still staying in boat pose, reaching the fingertips straight up, building core strength. Now release the heels to the mat and bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Hinge at the hips. Keep the spine long as you fold forward over the extended left leg. Bend the left knee if it's creating too much sensation in the back of the left leg. Press in the left heel and rise, keeping biceps on either side of the ears. Now the arms come out to a T. Take a twist to the right, right hand down, left hand reaching. Right knee presses down, left foot presses down. Left your hips a little bit higher. Now bring the hips back down. Square the shoulders to the extended left leg and fold forward over the extended left leg. Second time. Spine nice and long. Now release your hands. Biceps on either side of the ears as you rise. Reach up high and then release the hands and bring them down. Let's find the other side. Sole the left foot to the inside of the right thigh this time. Press the right heel away from you. Hinge at the hips. Fold forward over the extended right leg. When you're ready, release your hands. Then rise, arms come out to a T. Now take your twist to the left, bringing the left hand down behind you. Press into that right foot and the left knee and reach with the right hand. Palm facing down, press the hips a little bit higher. Really stretch it out. Nice stretch on the right side body. Now bring the hips down. Square the shoulders to the extended right leg. Reach up and overhead and then exhale, fold forward last time. Letting the forehead come down towards the shin or the knee on that right leg. Breathe. Release the hands now and rise. And once you're all the way up, release the hands and bring them down to the mat. Now straighten the left leg, then bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet together into Cobbler Pose. Let the knees move apart. Feel that great stretch in the outer part of the hips and the inner part of the thighs for most of you. One more breath in Cobbler Pose. Now, if you can, cross your left knee over your right knee and bring the feet out so that the heels are outside of the hips. Now, eagle arms. Lift the elbows, lift the chin. Second time here, although last time we didn't do it with cow face legs. Hinge at the hips, fold forward, big stretch in the hip. Inhale and slowly rise. Now level your chin and then release the arms. Reach the arms up high. Then take a twist to the left. Bring the left hand down behind you. That right hand can come to the bottom of the right foot if you like. Keep the shoulders nice and level and look over the left shoulder. Keep pressing the sitting bones down. Now release and back to center. Lean back and let's cross the legs the other way this time for cow face legs. Then we're going to find eagle arms in the upper part of the body. Finding eagle arms on our second side. Left elbow comes under the right elbow. Palms touching if you can. Now lift the elbows and the chin. Keep your spine long as you hinge at the hips, trying not to round too much in the belly, and fold forward over the legs. Now slowly rise. Keep your chin level now. Release the arms and bring them out to a T. Then take a twist to the right. Right hand comes down behind you. That left hand can get a hold of the left foot if you like. As you breathe in, let your spine lengthen. Now release from the twist. Come back to center. Uncross the legs and bring the soles of the feet to the mat. And now a reverse plank. Straighten the legs, lift your hips, point your toes, shoulders hips, feet, all in alignment. Let your head drop down. So you're looking behind you. When you're ready, release the tailbone down to the mat. Once the tailbone lands, release the arms, reach them high. Then as you exhale, fold forward over the extended legs. Paschimottanasana is the name of this pose in Sanskrit. Now chin on chest, round the back as you rise. Then bend your knees, bring the hands behind you. We're going to find a reclining figure 4 pose here. So bring the ankle of the right foot to the knee of the left leg. Press that right knee away using the strength of your legs. Now, are you ready for some fun? This is Dragonfly Pose. Bring the back of the right elbow to the instep of the right foot. Bring your weight into that right foot, then lift up onto the hands. Once you're balancing on your hands, pick the right leg up and straighten it, reaching it off to the side. Dragonfly Pose. All right, let's go over to the other side. Reclining figure 4. So left ankle to right knee. Press that left knee away. Now let's find our dragonfly pose on the second side. So bring that left hand forward, and then bring the left elbow to the instep of the left foot. Press the left heel down, or the instep, and pick that right leg up, balancing on both hands. Then bring your right foot down, all the way back down. Good work. Thank you for trying. Now back to Cobbler Pose. We're going to float our Cobbler Pose this time, picking the feet up off the mat. You can bring the hands to the pinky toe side of the feet. Pull the feet a little closer to the pubic bone. Now take a hold of the big toes with your peace fingers. Maybe bend the elbows, bring them a little closer to the shins or the knees, deepening your movement into the pose. Now splits, bring the feet apart, still with the peace fingers on the big toes. Then bring the knees together, release the hands, and lay all the way down onto your back. Once you're on your back, bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet to the mat, preparing for bridge pose, and then lift your hips high into bridge pose. You can press the palms into the mat. You could interlace the fingers behind the back if you like. If you want to, you can cross the right ankle over the left knee, and then maybe press the hips a little higher. Just a little bit of an extra challenge in bridge pose. And then to the other side, left ankle to right knee, press the hips, press that left knee down. And back to bridge pose. Lift the hips even a little higher. Challenge yourself. Just another 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch. And eventually release from bridge pose. Once the tailbone lands, hug the knees into the chest and the forehead comes towards the knees with the spine rounding. Bring the arms out to a T. Heel toe the feet out to the edges of the mat. Then take a twist to the right. Bring the knees down to the right. And your gaze is to the left. Just notice the sensations that you feel in this very gentle reclining twist. Take one more deep breath. Then let it go and let the knees float over to the other side. The feet stay right where they were at the edges of the mat. Your gaze moves to the right this time. Now draw a deep breath in and let the breath go. When you're ready, let the knees come back to center. Bring your gaze back to center as well. Now straighten the legs. Arms come down by your side. Time for a very well-deserved Shavasana. I always recommend flipping the palms so they face up in order to avoid too much tactile sensation in the fingertips. That can tend to hijack the brain. On the other hand, if you'd like to feel more grounded, Experiment with flipping the palms so that they face down, and you'll probably feel much more grounded during your Shavasana. Now let yourself drift into a state of surrender, letting go of the need to do anything at all. Let go of the need to judge your practice or to think about the future or to evaluate the past. Be present in this moment as it occurs. Just observing, noticing whatever is around you. The sounds, the smells, the tastes, and whatever you feel. I mean physical sensations. Tune into all that as deeply as you can. Becoming more and more aware. Let your awareness shift now back to your breath. Feel your body breathing in and breathing out. Knowing that your conscious control of the breath is not necessary. You can allow the body to breathe on its own as you just observe, almost as a bystander. Just paying attention to the body, breathing in and breathing out. Becoming more and more familiar, more and more intimate with the breathing process and surrendering into it, letting go. And notice how soft your breath has become, how gentle it is, how slowly it's moving. Now become aware of your heartbeat. Become aware of the heartbeat wherever you find it in the body, maybe in the mouth, maybe in the nose, maybe somewhere else, maybe the fingertips or the toes or the feet or ankles. Wherever you locate the heartbeat, become deeply aware of the rhythm of the heartbeat. Let your beating heart become all-consuming so that nothing else is within your consciousness at all. Just the beating of your heart. The beautiful, ever-present, rhythmic movement of the heartbeat. Stay with it. Now release your awareness from the beating of your heart and bring your awareness to your whole body, remembering it's resting on your mat. When you feel ready, bend your knees, and then once the knees are bent, roll to your side, and you can cradle your head in your arm if you like. Pause, then bring yourself to a seat. Once you're seated, bring your hands to heart center and press the palms together. Now draw a deep breath in. As you exhale, say to yourself, Om. Thank you so much for joining me today. May you be happy and well, and may you be safe. May you be peaceful and at ease. Namaste.